I was born and raised in Miami. My parents were not Orthodox, but there was a Jewishness that pervaded our home throughout my childhood. And as a result, it followed me wherever I went. Into the Navy, into college, and into my profession, TV news.
7 News.
7 News just
Following a developing story.
breaking news, the story you saw first on 7.
But somehow it became larger than life, this search for my faith, this search for the real Judaism. But I needed to find out more and figure this whole thing out. So when I came upon this quaint shul in the Grove, I didn't know it was a shul, because the King David Motorcycle Club was arriving for a morning minyan. It was a loud moment. But between the dust and the noise stood a rabbi. Was this his congregation? What kind of shul has a morning brunch with professional bikers, davening with their hearts and souls? And yes, they are real people with real jobs and real families. But is this all there is? Not so.
All right, please.
There's judges, lawyers, doctors, accountants, businessmen and entrepreneurs, firemen and firewomen, PhDs from universities and medical schools, people who fly, those who'd rather be on the ground, campuses in the north and campuses in the south, and Hebrew schools for children of all ages. And wherever I go, I see the rabbi. But what is Chabad Lubavitch, Chabad Lubavitch? That's it. Who are they? What exactly is it? After Googling around, I discovered lots of information. I found that they're huge, covering the entire globe. Yes, this modest, quaint shul is part of a worldwide organization with over 3,500 Chabad centers around the world and growing larger every year. From synagogues to schools, from summer camps to campus Chabad houses, they provide religious programs and humanitarian programs throughout the world. So I set out to investigate this phenomenon and find out for myself. In the state of Florida alone, there are over 100 Chabad centers, and in South Dade, there are 7. The head office is in the Grove, with branches at the University of Miami, Kendall, downtown Coral Gables, FIU, Jackson Memorial Hospital Medical School, and the newly added center in Key Biscayne. But this organization didn't just appear all by itself. It was set in motion by a Rebbe. Yes, I said Rebbe. It was the first time I heard the word too. The definition, in short, is a spiritual leader. But in this instance, a profound leader of a generation of rabbis who would be asked to embark into a world and inspire Jews of all nationalities and affiliations. The force behind this movement is a man fondly known as the Rebbe, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson. So I began a journey to find out what Chabad is and what kind of people go to Chabad and why. The first place it took me was in the presence of a judge, but not just one judge, there were 2. Liliana Zilberstein, soft-spoken and emotionally moved by the teachings of Chabad, and her rabbi, and the other, bold, outspoken, and very proud to be a Jew and a judge.
I'm a judge. That's my job. And I have to learn that the practices of Judaism are part of my life. My job is to keep people out of jail, to try to get people to see who they really are, to dig down deep and see their humanness, the humanity within them, so that they can become better people, better members of the family. And that's what Chabad does. It teaches us to find our humanity within ourselves, become better people than we are. And I think it's really a wonderful thing for me being a judge and being part of Chabad and being part of that family there. So that family never leaves me. It's like it's my family, and it stays with me throughout my days and hopefully throughout the days of my life.
Although I come from a Reform background, I felt like a vacuum, like something was missing. It is in the Bible where it says, Tzedek, Tzedek tirdof. You know, justice, justice, shall you pursue. And that is the way I earn my living. And knowing what it is that Judaism expects from me makes me a better human being. And if it makes me a better human being, it's going to ultimately make me a better judge.
Then there's Gail, a firewoman dedicating herself to public service in a big way. She's been here at the Coconut Grove Fire Station for over 18 years. She has a daughter, Gracie, who also attends classes at Chabad.
Gail Nettleman, my Hebrew name is Shifra. You're probably wondering how a nice Jewish girl got into the fire service. I was still attending the conservative shul, that's where the day school was. And it was all very nice, but it just wasn't enough. So I heard about this Chabad thing. Probably called it Chabad at the time, didn't know. And knew there was one in the Grove, and I knew where it was because I was very familiar with the Grove. It was just exactly what I needed. Real stuff. The real thing, with no pressure, no judging, no nothing, no nasty looks, no gossiping. And through their non-invasive way, I just grew more and more until I'm completely Shomer Shabbos. I live a mile from the shul now.
Okay, but what about the university students? Chabad of South Dade has 3 locations. One at FIU, with over 3,000 Jewish students from all around the world, where Levi and Sashi are dedicated to providing a host of programs for all those students attending. And then there's the University of Miami, on the cutting edge of education, technology, internet. I headed over to the Chabad at the University of Miami campus one evening. There were lots of people who showed up, and I was taken in by all the excitement.
How do I look? How's my hair?
You look great. Why are you here?
I'm here for the wine and cheese Kabbalah meditation event.
How about you?
I'm here for both the wine and the Kabbalah.
When my friends were coming in town from New York, I told them that I'd like for them to come to Shabbos with me on Friday night. And when they found out it was Chabad, they didn't really want to go because they're like, oh, they're so religious and it's like a cult.
No one thinks it's a cult. Everyone understands. Everyone believes in their religion, and it's nice to have.
But when they came, they had such an amazing time. They spoke to the rabbi and they spoke to Henshi Feleg about Judaism and great food and a lot of good people, and it's just a nice atmosphere for young Jewish students to get together. They're going to come back when they come back in town, and they didn't even want to go in the first place.
It's intimidating the first time they walk in because they see a lot of people. Maybe on Friday night, some people dress up more than others, and they're uncomfortable with that. Or they see Mendy with the big beard, and it's hard to get over that the first time you meet someone. You think they're going to try to make you more religious.
It's the way they pray. You can just see it comes from the heart, and they really feel it. It's not just a show. It's not just an act. And I think the Chabad setting, it's more like a home. I mean, the synagogues I've gone to are really big and kind of sometimes intimidating in a sense, and it's always a fashion show and who's wearing what and who's doing what, but with Chabad, you get to the true essence of why you're there, to pray, to express your faith. That's what really found to be beautiful.
This is a very important age and stage of people's lives where they really focus on who they are and what they are and where they're going in life. I'm here to make a difference in one person's life, and if I do, I'd be very satisfied.
And it says peace, unity, yachad, shalom. That's what it's about. It was just about bringing everybody together.
It's an abstract masterpiece.
Thanks.
But what about campus life? During the day, the hustle and bustle, Rabbi Mendy Feleg was there, greeting many Jewish students, answering their questions, inviting them for a Shabbos meal, or just being in the right place at the right time to keep them in touch with their Judaism.
Just being on campus and bumping into a student, you can develop a relationship. It's like, people ask me how many kids I have, and I'm like, I got 2,000. Every Jewish kid on campus, I really feel, we connected. They're like my children. I care about them, and we're worried about them, and we try to provide for them what they would need.
And what about the faculty? What do they think about Chabad? Perry Roberts is the University of Miami Vice Provost. Judaism and Jewish life for her on this campus is very important. Jewish students should have a place to turn to when they're far away from home.
Not having had the benefit of Chabad when I went to college, I realized how important that is for a Jewish experience while in college. And oftentimes you're away from home and you don't have grandparents whose homes you can go to for the holidays. And so you really need a home away from home, and that's what Chabad has provided on the University of Miami campus. Hashem must have put me here, that it was a good coincidence that when Chabad was founded here, that they had somebody in the higher administration who also found their spiritual home at Chabad.
Don Sleznick is the mayor of Coral Gables. He feels the unifying force of Chabad and the important spiritual role it plays in his community. It soon became clearer to me that Jewish holidays, traditions, and acts of kindness helps to keep our Jewish heritage alive.
Lighting the menorah at Hanukkah to remind people as we celebrate the peace, the shalom of Hanukkah, that there is hope for a better world ahead and that we have things to rally around, not just politicians, but there are things of much greater importance to remember and to base our lives upon. I know that there are visitations to the elderly, there's outreach in the Miami Children's Hospital. These are all critically important things. There has to be someone out there connecting God to humanity, and the Chabad has done its share of that work, and we thank them for that.
Connecting God to humanity. It became a reality for me when I heard the rabbi's prayer at the swearing-in ceremony of Miami-Dade Mayor Carlos Alvarez.
We are assembled here tonight to extend our best wishes to the mayor. His thank you needs no words, for his actions speak louder. Blessed is he, the leader who considers leadership an opportunity for service. Blessed is he, the leader who has not sought high places, but who has been drafted into service because of his ability and willingness to serve. A good leader inspires others with confidence in him. Blessed is he, a great leader, who inspires others with confidence in themselves.
It's as if the rabbi was talking to me, because underneath it all, confidence and faith is what I was always looking for, and enriching, deeper faith than I felt I can find on my own. Dr. John Grossman, Dr. Kevin Fox, and his wife, Dr. Deborah Longwell. Their search led them to Chabad as well.
I was conservative. We drove to all the different holidays, and my mother always took me to synagogue to every holiday. And I missed it because I wasn't getting that here. I wasn't getting it any place. I felt like I was missing something. And here, when I was at the shul, my children were able to enjoy and appreciate and learn traditions and things that I was never able to find anywhere else.
My wife and I decided, why don't we seek out and see what this is all about? So we located the Chabad in the Grove, and we started to go to the classes. The classes were great. We learned a lot. It brought a lot of closeness into our relationship. It had a very significant impact on our family. It brought our family very close together. Exposure to Chabad, classes at Chabad, the rabbis at Chabad had such an impact on us. It opened up our eyes.
This is actually my operating room, where they're just finishing up surgery that we started about 7:30 this morning. I actually first met Rabbi Feilig on my Hebrew birthday, and over these past years we've developed a very close relationship. Our family has become very active. Our children are involved in the programs. My daughter is in the first Bat Mitzvah Club. For the first 5 years that we lived in Miami, we used to go to New York for the high holidays because until we met the rabbi, we were unaware that this kind of environment was really there. Now we feel that we're part of a very nice, very warm, very meaningful Jewish community.
But it doesn't just stop there with our 3 doctors and the Miami Children's Hospital, because Chabad also attracts businessmen and women entrepreneurs. This unique couple, Ivan and Janice Zuckerman, both daring and innovative in business, made Chabad of the Grove their home away from home.
My parents always said that a Jew is not a mensch unless they belong to a synagogue. They felt very strongly.
My religious education was probably very much like most secular Jewish families in America post-World War II, in the 60s. We were observant but not religious. I went to Hebrew school sometimes. The principal of the religious school was flabbergasted that I did so well in my bar mitzvah. He thought I was going to be an absolute mess. And he actually came up to me and said, I never thought you could do it, and I was amazed.
Ivan loves Chabad, and he forgot to say this because it is the most unorthodox, orthodox place he's ever been to.
I may not be real observant, but I feel that I'm much more spiritual than I used to be. I think Chabad is quite a unique organization. It's sort of like no Jew left behind.
This place is down to earth, but it reaches to the heavens. It's an amazing, amazing place. It's connected me to the miracles in life, of everyday life, that I really wouldn't have noticed before. Everybody grows at their own time. I'm gratified that Ivan, he is so generous with this place as well, not only with my time and his time and whatever we can give back to the community, and we really love it.
And when it comes to the world of sons, daughters, grandchildren, and families, Chabad has the answers, especially for Charles Hirsch, a top-flight accountant since 1974, whose Jewish life has garnered more meaning for him now than ever before.
Our house has been transformed. Vera and I made a commitment, tore out the kitchen, started from scratch, and this kitchen is koshered. And if you come in there, we have the separate sinks, we have the separate countertops, we have the separate dishes. Boy, did we give away a lot of dishes and a lot of pots and pans. And I just said, I can't believe we're doing it, but we did it. And it's nice because everybody who comes into the house knows and respects this. They made it clear that there is no membership per se. It's a desire to be there, and it's not a requirement. There are no dues, but we give money as we see fit, and we support lots and lots of the activities that we see at Chabad. We're a very family-oriented group. We have Vera's mother. She's going to have her 100th birthday party, and 3 guesses where it's going to be. Chabad of the Grove. She celebrates Shabbos. She's in temple Friday night and Saturday, and because of her grandson, Michael, she is an active participant and enjoys every bit of it. The grandchildren celebrate Shabbos at the house. If you come into our house and see our house, if you walk in, you know you're in a Jewish house. There's no question whatsoever.
The more questions I asked, the more inspired I became. Over the years, Andrew Hellinger, now Director of Operations of Leviov Bowling Green Developers, said he got to where he is today because of his constant, unwavering faith and his dedication to his family and to his shul. But what was it that first drew him into Chabad and to Rabbi Felig?
The first time I met Rabbi Felig was not in the shul. It had nothing to do with services. It wasn't a Jewish event or a Jewish holiday. It was actually driving down US 1, and what should I see? A 56 vet with a guy with a yarmulke on and a long white beard. And my friend says, "That's the rabbi from the Grove." And I said, any rabbi that drives a 56 vet is pretty cool, and we need to go to that shul. When I was a kid, I would go to shul a lot. We lived near our synagogue, and I would walk with my father and my brothers. We went to Hebrew school, and we went to Sunday school, and we had a good Jewish home growing up. My children love the Chabad in Coconut Grove. They just adore it. The most precious sight that I have as a father is watching my 2 sons stand next to the rabbi when he reads Torah. My daughter Lauren is in the Bat Mitzvah Club, and she is doing incredible. She loves being part of a group of girls that are all training to be young ladies in the Jewish tradition. My life has changed since I've come to Chabad. Some people would say I'm a kinder, gentler, nicer person. I certainly feel like I have become more spiritual, and as a rabbi would say, Hashem takes care of everything, and I think I've become more successful.
In the end, where did my journey take me? And what did I learn? I learned that Chabad means wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and is based on the teachings of ancient mysticism and Kabbalah. I learned that they offer all kinds of spiritual and educational opportunities to people who are searching for their own spiritual path. I also learned that they do not have membership dues, and that they are supported by the generosity of members of the community who, although not completely observant, believe that the highest standards of our Jewish traditions should be accessible to everyone, everywhere. I learned, too, that Chabad is open, warm, and very inviting, regardless of your background or your affiliation. For me, Chabad is a wonderful opportunity to just be myself, to search, to learn with the rabbi, and to experience with others who feel deeply about their Judaism and want to rediscover it all over again.